Hi everyone, you're welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping on my space today. So in today's tutorial, I'll be sharing with you all how to make a crop fitted top. Okay, so I'm making use of this African print fabric, and I went ahead to cut out the amount of fabric that will be enough. That is by dividing my largest part, which is my bust circumference, by 4 and adding 2 inches extra. So to get started, I have to rule a line, and all my measurements will be starting from that line, and that automatically becomes my shoulder line. So on that particular line, I'm going to divide my shoulder into 2, and I went ahead to add extra half of an inch, which is going to serve as the joining allowance. So after getting that, the next I'll mark is my neck width, 3 inches wide, and because this dress is going to be a high neck, I'm just going to mark 4 inches as my neck depth. So I'll go ahead and connect just the way I'm doing right here. So the next I'll use my curve rule to connect this to give it a circle neckline. It's not going to be blocked actually. So right after that, I'll go over to my shoulder. I divided into 2, and from that point I'm going to come down by 8 inches. 8 inches is usually the basic or the standard measurement for an adult armhole, unless the person is on a bigger size, then you can increase the armhole by extra 1 inch. Okay, but 8 inches works for almost everybody. Okay, so that's by the way, and I'm going ahead now to get the midpoint of this armhole line I just marked, and I'm going to divide this into 2 equal halves. I'll make a point right there at that half and come in at that point as well by half of an inch. So I'll come to this my chest line, that's the line I'm pointing. I'm dividing my bust circumference by 4, and I'm going to mark what I have right there. So after marking this right there, I'll go ahead and add extra 3/4 inch for ease. This is because this crop top, I'm trying to recreate the exact crop top you see right on the thumbnail. Okay, so this is for ease. So after this, I'll just go ahead now to use my curve rule to connect this in a curvy way all the way to my armhole, or to create my armhole. Actually, this is the right way this is usually done. So after all of that, I'll go ahead now to also place my tape on my shoulder line, and I'm going to get my half length. So the half length I'm working with here is 16.5 inches. So I marked it, and the next I will go ahead and add extra 2 inches, which is going to serve as the hemming allowance. I'll rule all of these lines, and please bear in mind that I'm drafting a basic bodice. Okay, so that is it, and the next thing I'll do is to come to my waist. I'm going to divide my bust circumference by 4. Okay, so I'm not going to add any ease. I'll just divide my bust circumference by 4, and whatever I have, I'm marking it right there. Reason is because this dress is not really that fitted on the body, but it is a bit free. Okay, so that is it, and I didn't add the ease. I just divided my bust circumference because we know that the bust is usually bigger than the waist. So that's exactly what I did here, and I went ahead to connect from my chest line all the way to my half length. So guys, that is it, and the next thing I'll do now is to add my 1 inch, which is going to serve as my sewing allowance. So what I normally do is I add extra 1/4 of an inch, which is going to serve as my stitching when I'm turning up with my line. So keep watching, you understand the explanation I am trying to give right here. So on my shoulder, I'm going to give my shoulder slanting right here, and you can see I came up by half of an inch and slightly connected it to the other side of my shoulder. So having done this, guys, I'm done with the drafting of the front part of this dress or this top. So I'll just go ahead now and cut it out the same way I drafted. So the next I'm going to do after cutting out is actually to draft out for my back bodice. So I went ahead to get this exact fabric. I folded into 2, and I'm going to start by marking half of an inch. So this half of an inch is going to be my zipper allowance. So I'm going to place this my already drafted front bodice exactly on this my line I created for my zip allowance and not from the edge of my fabric. And I'm going to trace out the shoulder part because the back neck depth is usually higher than that of the front. So I'll go ahead now right here and mark just 2 inches. So remember that the front neck depth is 4 inches, but the back neck depth is 2 inches. So that is it, and I'll go ahead and cut out everything the same way it is right here. So once I'm done cutting all of that out, I'll remove my front basic bodies, and the next thing I'll give this is my zipper slope. So from my waist I went up by 5 inches and slightly connected like this, and that was all I did. So the next I went ahead to iron my stay to this my fabric and also iron out my lining piece. So what I did right here is that when you come to cutting your lining, you're going to actually reduce your lining by 1 inch, so that by the time you stitch this you have this fabric inside. Okay, so I'm going to stitch all of these parts, both the neck, the armhole, everywhere, and the sides, and leave a little space at the side and turn it out. So this is what I mean. So I turned it out from the side and stitched it up back. So when you must have reduced 1 inch from your lining, this is what we are going to have. So I'm going to take this measurement for you to see that we are still on the safer side. Here we have 17 inches, and you know that the half length I'm working with is 16.5. So by the time I take away half of an inch for my shoulder, I'm going to be left 16.5. So this is the accurate way to do this, and please make sure that you iron as you sew. So the next I will do is to place my back dress on my front dress, right sides facing each other, and you can see how everything aligns from the base to the sides to the shoulder. So firstly I'm going to pin my shoulder area, and after pinning I also pin the sides. So you can see I went ahead to carefully pin this my shoulder, and the next thing I went ahead to pin right here will be for my sides. And for the sides, the next thing I will do is to mark 1 inch. Remember I gave this 1 inch, which is going to serve as my stitching or seam allowance. So the reason for that 1/4 inch is because by the time you take 1/4 of an inch at both sides, for this whole turning up is going to be 1/2 of an inch. So that was the reason for giving this 1/4 of an inch. So I went ahead to do all of this now, and also fixed my zipper at the back, and you can see what I have looking so beautiful. So this will be worn with a high waist skirt, and please, while fixing your zip, make use of an invisible open zip. Okay, make sure you make use of a zipper that can be opened very well. Okay, so you can see the type of zip I put here. So you can see how neat and beautiful it is. So the next thing I'm going to do is to fix the sleeve, and that is all for this tutorial, guys. This is the outcome. Thank you so much for watching. Please do try this out, and this is simple and very beautiful. Thank you all so much for watching. See you next time on this same channel, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Bye.